Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I've been waiting to do this video because I just haven't found the time, and quite frankly, there's no possible way we're going to get through every single one of the contacts, donors, basically donations to all these other different politicians and more in this video. There were two articles I really liked that were extremely long, and they were, here are all the politicians Jeffrey Epstein, the money manager arrested on charges of sex trafficking, has donated to. And right here, these are his contacts A to Z. This is, I believe, New York Magazine, Intelligencer, and it's a really incredible and thorough article where it's going to break down a lot of these people. So, what I thought I would do, I thought we could have some fun on this one. I'm going to go back and forth in between both articles. We're going to go through every single contact as we also do an AMA style broadcast here. So we'll take all super chats. Obviously, I'll try not to jump around, but if you got questions Epstein related, hopefully I'm going to have answers. So as we go through these contacts, let's hit up the chat with as many questions about Epstein or observations or things maybe I missed. Remember, I am having Whitney Webb on for the Roy Cohn connection and the Mint Press series that's been going around. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be on Wednesday. So let's get right to it. Okay, let's start with the Black Book, and then we'll get into the political donations. Now, for this, remember, a lot of this stuff can overlap, especially since so many people in these Black Books are actually, politicians. But let's start with Woody Allen. Epstein kept a photo of his friend Allen, the sexual pariah, on his wall and was photographed walking with him on the Upper East Side. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? There they are. And by the way, for those unfamiliar with Woody Allen, the woman to the right of Allen actually was his adopted daughter, Soon Yi. And just think about that. And he ended up marrying his adopted daughter. And of course, there have been allegations of abuse by Ronan Farrow, Mia Farrow, who was with him. Let's just read a little more. It's pretty grotesque. And not that I have ever enjoyed Woody Allen's films, even before, when you're a kid and people have you watch this stuff, et cetera, as, art. I never thought it was that funny, and I certainly don't think these things are funny. So this is the kind of guy that Epstein hangs around with, Woody Allen. For years before his relationship with Mia Farrow, Allen had carried on with a 16-year-old girl he'd met at a Lane's named Bobby Christian Engelhart. Okay, do you understand? In an interview with Hollywood Reporter, she wondered if she was the inspiration for Manhattan, Allen's 1979 movie about a man in his 40s who dates a high school student. Yeah. So that's the first contact. Now we're gonna jump over to the political realm. Let's see who the first donor is right here. Who do we got to that first donation? Delegate Stacey Plaskett, who represents the U.S. Virgin Islands in the House of Representatives, accepted donations from Epstein after he registered as a sex offender. How about that? Epstein made a maximum individual contribution of $5,400 to Plaskett's re-election campaign in 2016, the Daily Beast reported. Plaskett District includes St. Thomas, where Epstein's firm is incorporated, and Epstein has not one but two private islands, actually. Let's see, in 2018, he dropped another $2,700 her way. That's what we know of. Remember, hit up the comment section with questions, observations about Epstein. We're going to go into it. Oh, look at that. Princess Diana's brother, Charles Athrop. What's Charles Athrop up to? Let's see. It's easy to say Princess Diana's brother, but let's see what he's involved in. Charles Spencer Earl the Ninth. That's right, so royalty, obviously. Let's go to his Twitter. Let's see. Look at the family's historic name. Oh, so a nice blue blood. Yet another member of the royal family in Jeffrey Epstein's book. That's just lovely, right? So let's go down to let's see. Wow. So we'll just go to this, I guess. Epstein sent $10,000 to Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee in October, only to have the money returned to him 3 days later. So they didn't take it this year. But he tried to donate another 10 grand to the DCC. Great. Epstein gave so much to Gwendolyn Beck, an independent running for Congress from Connecticut in 2014, that he violated the Federal Election Commission's individual contribution limit. I guess when you can buy everybody. Epstein donated a total of $12,600 to Beck, $2,600 directly to Beck's campaign, in addition to 2 donations of $5,000 each to 2 political groups supporting the candidate. You know, those PAC groups. So let's go back here, and then we're going to start taking questions and going down. So if you got the questions in there, now is the time to hit them up. Let's see. Dr. Eva Dubin, or Andersson-Dubin. Doctor and former Miss Sweden. Oh, that's lovely. Epstein's ex-girlfriend. Wow, this is an ex-girlfriend of his. So she's an ex-Miss Sweden. Interesting. And a doctor. And her husband, billionaire hedge funder Glenn Dubin, had Epstein over for Thanksgiving dinner in 2009, telling his probation officer they were 100% comfortable with his being around their teenage daughter. Insider reported. Lovely. She also created a foundation as Epstein could donate to breast cancer charity without attaching his name. So buying people up. You think he really cares about a lot of these things that he's putting money into? No, he cares about the control that he gets, especially when you see that he's a trilateral commission member, a Council on Foreign Relations member, and now heavily connected to intelligence by many sources. And that passport alone should let you know that. So this is how it works. Ex-girlfriends and their billionaire hedge fund husbands help him set up organizations so he can still influence people. Isn't that lovely? All right, we're going to take a break from the Epstein's contacts and clientele, and we're going to come on in over here, and let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. This will probably jump. Hey, Jason, Burmese Brigade. Yeah, thumbs it up and share these guys. And remember, I'll try to take all super chats. So thank you, Samantha Moore. We really appreciate that. And I'll try to get to as many questions as possible. We're going to go back up. We're going to do more of these contacts, guys, just to let you know. All right. Hello. Howdy, everyone. Hit thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up, share. If you're new, please sub. We do deep dives here all over the place. We're at the forefront of the Epstein case. Adam Schiff and the Standard Hotel. Look into it. All right. Well, I'm not sure exactly. I wish you'd give me a little more info on that. Loading. Howdy from Nova Scotia. Does Epstein use cocaine? It's a good question. I don't think that his drug use has really come up at all. At least that kind of drug use. You know, there's been talks of partying and orgies and, prosthetic breasts taped to the bathroom wall where his bathtub was. Really weird stuff. But I'm not sure that cocaine is a part of it. I would assume, since, arms dealing, human trafficking, and drug running, all at the end of the day in the upper echelons kind of run by the same people, you might not want somebody who's into that sort of thing that might be involved in that sort of thing. JP Morgan Freights, being caught with 20 tons of cocaine worth over $1 billion. No big deal. 15,000 plus kilos. Hi, Jason. Good job reporting on this. Shame on those people who tried to convince everyone it is a psyop. I don't know what that means out of psyop. Of course, every situation will be spinned by the powers that shouldn't be. Listen, this guy, let's get this straight too. This guy has a lot of money and influence. We can't trust everything that's in the media right now at all. We have to do our own due diligence. We have to have discernment. All the answers aren't going to be secretly encoded on message boards. You have to work for them. Don't let someone else do the work that you need to do for you. Check, double check. If you're not sure, don't be afraid to say so. I find it very hard to believe that this guy's not in prison right now. I know some people are saying he's not in jail, the switch was in, et cetera, et cetera. And believe me, anything's possible in this weird world of espionage and intelligence, but what's probable? So let's all have discernment with this. Les Wexner, was Epstein really throwing partners there at the mansion? I mean, there's so many. I was never at a Lex Wexner party, but now there's an internal investigation by Wexner himself, and Maria Farmer and others have said yes, absolutely. In fact, Maria Farmer, who was of age, makes the claim, and by the way, she says her sister, who was not of age and molested by Epstein, that's another part of that. But she says that she was assaulted by both Epstein and Maxwell at Wexner's home, and it was a whole ordeal, and she had to have her father come get her after hours, et cetera, et cetera. She was kept there against her will. And she also says that she had a threesome with Alan Dershowitz, and that Dershowitz used to come there in the mid-'90s and go upstairs where there were underage modeling going on. That's all I can say about that. And she came out because she felt like Virginia Giuffre was getting a bad rap. So good question there. Let's fix that up. Remember, I'm going to try to take all super chats, guys, and I'm going to try to take all the good questions and comments here too. Hi, Jason. Have they found Heidi Fleiss's name in the black book? I'm not sure. I think Heidi Fleiss's name is in that black book, but I guess we'll find out. This is going to be a series, guys. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get through this in one broadcast, but we're going to do 30 minutes to an hour here and really break it down. Do we reckon that John McAfee is Rusty Shackelford of drone footage fame? He is in the area. That's kind of a conspiracy theory, don't you think? Listen, I've taken everything. The reason I haven't covered the McAfee situation anymore is because McAfee, he's a wild card. He'll put out disinfo if he has to. He's got all sorts of resources, all sorts of currency hidden everywhere. He's armed. And, McAfee's out for McAfee. Let me explain that. Just because he looks like this anarcho hero doesn't mean he's the most honest or good person in the world either. There's a balance, guys. So I'm definitely looking at McAfee. But do you really think that McAfee himself is so benevolent? Wouldn't he want to use that for himself? Wouldn't he leverage that information? Whoever Rusty Shackelford is, he's not in it for the fame. He's obviously likes the anonymity, and he's doing great stuff with those drones. It's getting a lot of attention. Good for him. Frank Sinatra was Mia Farrow's Ed. I know that's Dad, you mean? Or Ed? He's supposedly, X. I know there's a theory out there that that's his kid, actually, Ronan Farrow. Oh, that's not as creepy as he's not blood. Never mind creepy. All right, I'm going to come back to these in a bit. Let's get it right to where we should be. I'm going to come back, load up the questions, guys. Let's go back to the contacts. So, let's see. Here we go. Let's go to a politician here. And look who it is. Epstein donated $50,000 to former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer in 2006. Spitzer returned the funds later that year, according to Reuters. Spitzer was in office for 15 months before resigning amid allegations of soliciting sex from prostitutes. They ruined him. Believe me, I'm not on the Spitzer train, but at the same time, he was doing some things that was shaking up that place, and he was heavily compromised because he was using prostitutes. As many of these people are, they are heavily compromised. So that was back in the day where prostitutes alone would pretty much get you. And I'm sure he was aware of, what other things they might have on him. So he ended that relationship with Epstein. Let's do another financial donor. Look at that. John Kerry received $4,000 from Epstein between 1991 and 2002. And I realize that seems like a very, very small sum, but that's what we know of. Epstein made 4 separate gifts of $1,000 each to Kerry, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. So who knows what the relationship there is, but there's some kind of a relationship. And like I said, there are definitely side groups, as illustrated in the Black Book, that were set up like this one, remember, through his ex-girlfriend and her current hedge fund billionaire husband, so he could donate anonymously. Let's repeat that again. She also created a foundation so Epstein could donate to her breast charity without attaching his name. And believe me, a lot of them set that up. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, looking for a friend. Epstein and the second son of Queen Elizabeth II have been friends for years and were introduced, it is generally thought, by Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend and longtime aide-de-camp. Again, would we call her a girlfriend, or would we call her a main procurer of these women, running this organization with him? The daughter of Robert Maxwell, media mogul, publisher, and alleged Israeli super spy, who supposedly stole the Promise software, Promise, which was the one of the first incarnations of that track trace database software, looking for keywords and going throughout all these telecommunication networks. and then he's found dead, drowned, or from a heart attack, they're not sure, outside of his boat, the Lady Ghislaine. Yes, the same name as his daughter. No big deal. And by the way, you know, Prince Andrew has been fingered in all of this with young women and trafficking and all that other stuff. And the other thing is that guess what? He's also an arms dealer. They're not talking about how he's an arms dealer. Look up, you know what, we'll do it together. We'll do it together. Prince Andrew arms sales. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Just a couple years ago. Here's a nice one. Almost a $500 million deal right there. It's nice. Isn't that nice? I'm sure he only did it once, though, right? I'm sure he's not he's the arms dealer by royal appointment. Oh, how about that? Oh, look at that. WikiLeaks cables. Huh. Get special briefings. Wait a minute. I thought the royal family doesn't have any real power. I thought that they just don't get paid. They don't pay taxes. It's kind of cute. They get protected by the government. They don't make any real decisions, like who buys the arms. Certainly not Prince Andrew, who's an accused pedophile. I mean, he wouldn't be looking to strengthen Saudi ties with arms deals, would he? I can't imagine that. That's nuts. Oh, he wants more arms deals in 2000. Oh, wait, he didn't just start in 2018? He's been doing this for a long time? Huh. Something that's never talked about is Prince Andrew as an arms trader. Remember, Adnan Khashoggi and Epstein allegedly had a relationship, according to Vicky Ward, a person who's breaking a lot of this stuff. So when you look at this relationship here, it's an important one. Let's go to the next one. Vittori Assaf, restaurateur. Okay, so let's see what he's up to these days. Let's see what we got, guys. We're going one at a time. Boom. And he's on the Twitter. What's he tweeting about? He's on Instagram, huh? Oh, this is the guy, I would imagine. See what he has to say for himself.
Li chiamiamo the Alassio Cocktail. 10 raspberry. 3, 4, 5.
So, just so you know, that guy, this guy right here, next to this very young girl, in New York, I'm not sure how young, maybe this is his family, I don't want to say anything crazy. He's also in Epstein's book. Let's get back to some more political figures. Let's see. Oh, Chris Dodd. He did return a $1,000 donation from Epstein in 2006. Good for him. But he tried to buy him, right? What was that, in 2003? Oh, he returned it in 2006, but he got it in 2003. Interesting. Epstein donated a total of $7,000 to Chucky Schumer. Weird. The Schumster's in there. Schumer seems seven separate donations of $1,000 each from 92, 95, 97, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. Oh, George H.W. Bush got some money from Epstein back in the day, back in 92. Odd. This guy just seemed to give money to everybody. It's weird. It's almost like they buy both sides. It's almost like that's how they do it. They compromise and buy both sides through a guy like Epstein. All right, guys, let's pile into the questions here. Let's see what we got. And it's probably going to jump a lot. Are we supposed to believe that there's some moral superiority that emanates from Hollywood? Who said that? What is the likelihood that accomplices are implicated in this case that actually be subject to inquiry? I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope that this is the dam breaking. I hope that enough eyes are on these things now that those that have seen it won't stop, can't stop, and will continue to push. And that's what we need to do. We need to shout from the rooftops. There's enough public information. Once more documents get unsealed, guys, we've got an even better shot at this. I just want to say that. Good shout. Mermaid could use, certainly fits. Woody Allen is gross. Yes, he is. Oh, $20 super chat. Let's check that out quick. Branko Horvat, keep digging, brother. A beer for your talented birthday. Thank you. God bless to you and your family. God bless to all. A friend from the north. Well, Branko Horvat, thank you. We always appreciate the super chats and the support here. Let's continue to keep going down. And let's see, Mermaid. Yes, Woody Allen is gross. Indeed, Sam Haslin. Let's see. Any new Trump connects to Epstein? Are the helicopter flight records out? Have not seen the helicopter flight records, but we do know, you know what, the pilots have been subpoenaed. Let's go to that story right now. That's a good spot to get in here. Let's see. Epstein pilots subpoenaed. So, yes, here we go. Jeffrey Epstein pilots are subpoenaed in sex trafficking investigation. So, look, it looks like more and more and more. I mean, they can't take out every witness, guys. And yeah, these guys are key. But here it is. So, that's a great question and a great point. We're going to find out. Remember, I kept telling you that the flight logs we have are only partial flight logs of one pilot. And there's, I think, 3 pilots altogether in one aircraft. And there's at least one other helicopter, if not a second helicopter, and if not a second private jet. So very important stuff. Let's continue down the line here. Let's see. Joe Biden openly kissing. Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty gross, but it's not Epstein stuff. It is absolutely disgusting. I had a dream. Nope, we're not going to go that. Whoa, and we jumped quick. Oh, we got some super chats I missed. Let's go back. Thanks for the analysis. Much love. Thank you, Mermaid Moxie. I want to just make sure I didn't kill anybody else over here. And that one's there. Let's see if I got another super chat I missed. Nope. All right. So I appreciate that, guys. I try not to miss any of this stuff, but as you can see, it kind of gets weird. So let's go back up. Let's see. Here we go. Quant search engine is awesome. I don't know what that is. Quant. I might have to check it out. Only curiosity, McAfee was board caught somewhere in QB. I saw the Dominican Republic, or that could all be staged, by the way. You know, let's talk about McAfee. He's got resources. Like I said, he's got a lot of money. He could put out a lot of disinfo. How much? I mean, they could say that they held him for guns or whatever, but why not put out a little disinfo, maybe refuel, find a path, maybe buy some mercs to come hang out with you on that boat on the way out and make it look like you were detained? Because wasn't it first the CIA had him? I saw some disinfo, and I didn't run with that he had already been taken in by other law enforcement. He, presumably the authorities had gotten to him. So once again, discernment is key. You got to watch out what you talk about, what you promote. Let's see. So let's continue. Only cursory. He would have someone who has a fancy drone. Oh, we're talking about Rusty again. Epstein donated to political campaigns, you said. What party is Epstein donating to? Both parties. Some are Democrat, but believe me, did you just hear George H.W. Bush? I'm sorry, from back in the day. And with that being said, I want to reiterate, this is not a left or right issue. It has never been about left or right. It has always been about right and wrong. And that's why I do this GoFundMe. It's once a month. I am not conservative. I'm not liberal. That is not what this issue is. This is a deep state issue, the real deep state, the real cabal, the people that have been doing this stuff since... I mean, if you look at the network just running with Epstein, he's there in the 80s. And obviously that network runs before him. It looks very much like the same Iran-Contra network, the same 9/11 network that I've been talking about in films like Invisible Empire and Fabled Enemies for well over a decade now. So if you can give $5, $10, $15, great. If not, and you're new to this, and you like these deep dives, questionnaires, etc., remember, I put out 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7 videos a day on all sorts of important subjects, not just Epstein. We deep dive into Nexium like no other, biometrics, facial recognition, the Track Trace Database Society, other human trafficking issues, transhumanism and brain chips, biotechnology, and much more. So give me a sub, make sure to ring that bell, and we're going to get back into it, and we're going to come back to the questions in a bit. So let's see. Influence peddler, Doug Band. I don't know much about him. Let's read it. Name found in Epstein's black book and on Epstein's private jet log. Oh, a one-time White House intern who climbed his way to being Bill Clinton's bag carrier, body man, fixer, and all-purpose gatekeeper. Isn't that lovely? So it's Bill Clinton's propaganda man. Band arranged for the former president to travel to Africa on Epstein's 727 in 2002. And remember, that's when Clinton was trying to say that they had actually started their relationship. But now through documents, and I did a whole video on this, obtained by the Daily Beast from the Clinton Library, we know 1993 now is the earliest thing we can prove. Michael Bachensky is giving me a super chat. Let's read it. May no man rejoice. Hold on, let's go here. May no man rejoice for hanged man for his evil. May we see God's vengeance and shed a tear for the man who failed to seek God's will. Hey man, I'll say this about it. I don't want the guy dead in jail. I want him wearing a 24/7 body camera. I want him taken well care of until we can get him to say as much as humanly possible and lead us to more of these monsters and take down this network. That's what needs to be done. The fact that this guy isn't already in solitary confinement with no way to harm himself, under guard 24/7 with cameras around 24/7 is beyond me. A webcam, I mean, that's literally, you could put that a full circle of technology for under $1,000 right now, today. Get me in there. I'll drive down. I'll make it possible. Call me, please. All right, let's get back to it. So Clinton's bagman and influence peddler, he arranged the Africa trip. Remember, that's also with Kevin Spacey and actor Chris Tucker. Oh, he's also would go on to help his boss found the Global Initiative in 2005. Remember, Epstein's lawyer says he has a huge part in that. That's another piece of this puzzle. Throughout that time, he took a number of trips on Epstein's plane and attended parties at his townhouse. Lovely, lovely. Band resigned from his position at CGI in 2012. Leaked emails later showed Band and Chelsea Clinton trading accusations of conflicts of interest in a war of influence over her parents. More recently, Band's been teaching a public service class at NYU. Oh, so he's a professor down at NYU. No big deal. Epstein's down there with his mansion, $77 million. I'm sure he never visited after that. Let's see. Andre Balaz. I don't know what a hoteler is. Is he a hoteler? Oh, so he's a hotel mogul, this guy. Let's see what he owns. Let's see what he owns. Guys, thumbs it up. Share it on social media. Nobody else will. Let's see. Let's go to his wiki. I don't know if I know this guy. Mercer Hotel, Sunset Boulevard. Okay, some more of a West Coast guy. Looks that way. Looks that way. So, again, we're going through A to Z, his entire contact list, and that's from the Little Black Book and the flight logs. And we are also going down the list here of donors that we know. Two great articles here, one from The Insider and one from New York Magazine. Oh, Epstein also donated $2,000 to support Bill Clinton in 1992, who defeated Bush. Epstein made two separate donations to Clinton's campaign in 92. Told ya. One in January and one in June, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. Epstein also donated $25,000 to the Clinton Foundation in 2006. Reuters reported. Clinton said in a statement that he also took 4 trips on Epstein's private jet in connection with his work for the Clinton Foundation, but that he knows nothing about the terrible crimes. I'm sure you don't, Bill. I'm sure you've told the truth throughout your political career. And as I was talking about, remember, guys, not about right and left, not about Republican or Democrat. This isn't fucking team baseball. I know I haven't cursed the entire time. We were almost at mini 30, and I'm getting heated when people think that this is like that kind of issue. It's not that kind of issue. Bob Dole, who ran for the President of the United States as a Republican, also taking Epstein money back in the day. Epstein gave Dole $1,000 in March 95, followed by another $250 that October, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. Dole, the Republican nominee, lost the election to Clinton. You buy both sides. You buy both sides. Everything is fake. It's the military-industrial complex. Let's get it straight. My goodness. I mean, come on. Oh, let's go back to some questions, guys. Let's keep them rolling. And remember, you got good questions and comments. Put them in there. I'll try to read all super chats for sure, 100% too. A girl on my Facebook has a picture with Joe Biden. So many people said he did touch her inappropriately. Well, I mean, come on, you can watch the videos. It skips me. Jason, thanks for starting to connect PBSO to all this. What part do you honestly think Trump played in this, and how deep? I think that Trump had we know he had a financial interest with Epstein back in the day. One, he liked models. They both had modeling agencies. Epstein wasn't interested in girls after they were, of a certain age, but he would use them as recruiters, and he seemed to be involved in the modeling industry. So what kind of guy would like those girls? Well, when they're in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, up to 25, probably Trump. And I think there's something to be said about the report that he and Epstein had a private party at Mar-a-Lago where 28 models pretty much auditioned for wife 3, and Melania was one of them. I don't know if that's true. I know it's being reported. I'm saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm hoping that Katie Johnston, who's accusing Trump basically of rape at 16, that's not true. I am. I'm 100% hoping that. I think anybody who's seen any good in what he's done, and I think he's done some good things, and I've given him credit for them, would hope the same thing. But for me not to report that, or be in imagination land like they didn't have a relationship, I refuse to do it. Because again, this isn't fucking games. This is real life, man. And if you want to remain credible, you have to tell the truth no matter what it is. Where is the integrity? Okay? Thank you. Cokehead. So I don't know, you think Epstein's a cokehead? Adrenochrome addict, had to get up for the cokeheads. Bill Clinton really that's true. Bill, listen, go watch my film Invisible Empire. It's free. I got a little bit of that in there. I got a little Mena, Arkansas drug running for you. I'm going to just listen now. This is so good so far. Well, thank you. Do you think Epstein will talk, name names? I don't know. Why didn't he just change his name and stuff? And just, again, sometimes you have, think about this. Oh, you're just going to change your name and get rid of your whole life. Is that something you'd want to do? Even in your position? Well, what about if you just had all these properties and influence and this is a 66-year-old man. By all accounts, we're taking him back to the 80s where he becomes very, very prevalent. I had kind of this conversation about the different reports of being attacked or suicide and what was going on in that wing. But imagine the scenario in a very corrupt system, in a very corrupt area in New York, where a lot of police officers do have daughters. Imagine this scenario, because it's a real one, that there are attacks there, just like with Tartiglione, his cellmate, where he was hit in the head with a lock and beaten, and somehow that happens. Now, imagine that happens to Epstein, only he's not beaten in the head. Maybe he's choked down and sodomized. Maybe he would try to commit suicide, because he's not going anywhere. He's not going to be in his mansion. The appeal is not going to work. He's going to be in jail. I do believe that in my heart of hearts. So let's keep going. 3 days ago, Rusty Shackelford had one day where he didn't post a video. I wonder how long McAfee was locked up. Oh boy, the McAfee is Shackelford, huh? Is Dershey a known member of Bohemian Grove? Anyone tracking this month? You know what? It ended today, I think. And now we should, be on the lookout for the ramp up of the Iran war, for sure. Let's see. I think, I think I'm going to end part 1. I think that's it. Let's make sure I didn't miss any super chats, and I didn't. So listen, we're going to do another couple of these. We might even do one of these later tonight. We'll see. But I'm going to continue on with these 2 articles. Let me show them to you again, because I think that they are indeed important. So if you want to do your own research here, we ended with Andre Balaz. We're at the B's. This is going to be a long one, guys. It's a long series. But this is the Intelligencer out of New York. And we ended here. We'll go over Jeff Bingaman next. And this is Insider. All the politicians Jeffrey Epstein, the money manager, has donated to. And those are only the politicians here. It goes a lot deeper. We've done charities, et cetera, et cetera. We're not afraid to name names. We're not afraid to talk about both sides. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thumbs this up, share it on social media, and make sure that you're part of Burmese Brigade. And if you can, I got this GoFundMe. This is how we're doing it. We're putting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos out a day, 7 days a week, about 30 a week on subjects that matter. So, you know what? Get these broadcasts out. We're probably going to do a part 2 later on this evening. I thank you very much. And guys, I will see you all on the flip side.